Here I'm going to do my pec stretch, so I make sure not to fatigue my wrist by using a lifting strap so I don't have to hold on too hard. And now what's happening is I'm bringing my thumb up and back even, quite a heavy supination. I am also bringing my shoulder blade down and away from my body to create length between kind of my outer lower ribs and where my chin is, kind of the clavicle, and of course where my arm is, my hand, all the way to kind of the sternum. That's like the middle of my, where the stomach and chest meets. So like a diamond shape. This is going to be the front delt stretch, and again, I don't want to fatigue my forearm when I do these because they could be held for a long time. So I bring my thumb down and maybe pointing back a little bit more, and that brings my shoulder out. And I also want to bring my shoulder blade toward my spine quite a bit, so I'm contracting my rhomboids a bit to deepen the stretch. And I'm also just kind of laying into it a bit. I'm just leaning all of my body weight forward. But of course, there's not going to be any pain and there's no tingling sensation from this sort of a stretch. Moving the thumb down like this exposes the shoulder more for a better stretch. This next one is for the biceps.
I don't use a lifting
and it
strap
looks a lot like the chest stretch. It almost is. My thumb's pointing up and back again,
forearm,
but instead of my shoulder blade moving down and out, it's almost like I'm pulling it in towards the other side. So it gets pulled towards the spine.
I bring the scapula down and into the spine.
And also, I'm not using a lifting strap, so that I also get a lot of tension in my forearm muscles,
so I want
and
a really
that pulls on the
sharp
bicep from the other side as well.
kind of result.
And it's almost like I'm trying to swing an axe over my knee. That's kind of the intention here. So it's like I'm trying to swing that axe, and I'm making sure that I keep that tension with the shoulder blade and as well with the forearm.
Whatever direction of force there is.
This stretch is almost like a stop sign on a bicycle. It's for the internal shoulder rotator, which is more or less located on the front of the body. That's typically what the idea was for this whole entire video, for muscles on the front of the body. And I'm putting my shoulder lower and also out, so it's going towards that wall, towards that light switch, and down. And I'm also using my torso to rotate away and into this stretch, and then I'll apply some force with my hand depending on what kind of a day it is. Maintenance or other. This is a quad stretch, and you basically just angle out about 15 degrees with how your quad faces out in front of you, or to look at it from behind you is about 15 degrees up. It's almost like you're holding your foot towards your glutes. And I'm just hopping around here to show exactly that it's not 100% straightforward of a stretch. It has a mild sort of 15-degree stretch, whereas that foot kind of comes into the glute a little bit, as well as the knee kind of having it point out ever so slightly. And then I also tilt my hip forward to get a little bit of added hip flexor stretch in there. So it's not just the knee, it's the hip flexor also.
This is good for if you can't afford to put a pull-up bar in your space. It's a seat belt with a knot on the other side. You could also use a rope. You might be able to use a shirt as well. If you wrap your hand as well, that also helps. So it's almost like you don't need a lifting strap either. And my hand positionings are shown pretty well here. My last video, I didn't get to show them quite as well with the back stretching, but it is important which way the hand is situated for just that extra bit of stretch. This is if you really don't have much equipment at all. So I'm supinating my hand up the wall, but I'm also bringing the thumb back to really intentionally put a supination on there. That was the pec stretch. And here I'm just keeping a decent stretch for the front delt, and the hand stays in the wall fairly normally for the biceps as well. And I try to keep the armpit kind of pointed down into the ground.